Hello everybody, yes you guessed it, it's another edition of Wrestling Showdown here of course on the W3L network. Thank you once again for joining me, thank you for hitting the subscribe button, because again one button click, you'll never miss an episode. And as you may well be aware, we're getting very close to the semi-final round of the Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament. It'll be coming up soon. So make sure you don't miss an episode if you want to find out who is going to be the first ever Wrestling Showdown champion. Now ladies and gentlemen, nothing of course beats seeing W3L live and in person. I've got some news about live W3L events coming up very soon. But first, let's have a match, because you want to see wrestling, right? Of course you do. Two men who sadly didn't progress past the first round in the Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament look to regain their winning ways as they go one-on-one against each other this week here on Showdown. The very good Mr. Euan Mackie has metamorphosed, shall we say. He's got a slightly different look and is as sassy as ever, but he is going to be facing a man he has faced before in the form of Big Dave Jeremi. He got his hand raised at Remedy, but frankly wasn't left looking like a victor after encountering Mackie ratings. Which of these men will gain the victory? Which of these men will move one step closer to potentially being the new #1 contender to the soon-to-be crowned Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament? What's going to happen in the match? Oh, don't look at me. Let's go down to ringside and we can all find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown, and we've got a match between two men who've wrestled a couple of times in the past, though never here on Showdown. One thing they do have in common is the last time we saw them here on Showdown, they both eliminated from the Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament. You'll be familiar with Big Dave Jeremi in the black and green singlet, and you'll also be familiar with the very good Mr. Euan Mackie, who, if you follow him online, particularly on his YouTube channel, you will have seen the death of the very good Mr. Euan Mackie. He's changed the black and green for black and red, and he's started referring to himself as a Sasshole the Clown. Just be careful how you pronounce that. And so he's had a change in colour scheme, because he's got white makeup on his face. It hasn't changed him necessarily as a person. He's still the same vicious, cerebral little monster that he's always been. And so I'm sure Dave Jeremi will be happy to attest. Certainly Jeremi will have the power advantage in this, but as we've seen in previous matches with Mackie, what he lacks in size and power, he makes up for in cunning and underhanded tactics. But we'll see if his new attitude and his new outlook and his new outfit as well improves his situation here in W3L. Again, last time we saw him in February, he wrestled Kevin Williams, who was defeated in the first round of the Showdown tournament. But he then attacked Williams after the match, leaving Williams open to being attacked by Prince Assad and Saqib Ali, who've got some unfinished business. And Mackie receiving a receipt for his comments there. Well, we're past the 30-second mark, and it appears that the audience has been unable to count really high, because it started well and it's kind of fallen apart. Suffice to say, Big Dave Jeremi is holding Mackie with ease and just slams him down with that big body slam. Goes in for a cover right away. Again, Mackie not the heaviest man, but Jeremi just holding him up really easily. Well over, well, I think about 40 seconds at least that was, even I lost count. So yeah, Mackie's last match on Showdown, losing to Williams, hopes to redress the balance here. As, oh, we'll go for it again. Well, we've already seen with the body slam you can hold them easily. The suplex a bit harder, and doing squats as well. And drops him down. And things not going Mackie's way. Jeremi in for a cover yet again. Last time Jeremi was on Showdown, he was eliminated from the tournament by Dickie Divers, courtesy of being hit in the head with a chair. And Mackie getting backdropped and wisely going to the floor. He cannot match power and strength with Big Dave Jeremi, man who does a lot of powerlifting, has played flag football, so can move from a standing start with explosive speeds, as I've detailed before. Mackie's wandering round the building, and Jeremi giving chase as the referee stands in the ring. There's always a judgment call. Do you go after them and give them some leeway? Do you start counting them out? It's difficult to say. The referee's applying the count though. And Jeremi wants to smash Mackie's head against the apron, which he just has. And we saw Big Dave Jeremi in action at Remedy. Took on Mikey Ratings, who's making his official W3L debut. And it has to be said, this match is going more in Jeremi's favour than his match with the Ratings did. Because of course it was Big Dave Jeremi who initially lost the match via submission to Mikey Ratings. However, Ratings refused to release the hold and the referee reversed the decision to disqualify them. So Jeremi officially got the victory, but suffered doing so and just throwing himself at Mackie. And I do wonder if he's trying to redress the balance somewhat, wants to erase the memory of that loss to Ratings. See Mackie as quick as ever, dropkick in the face, covers Big Dave Jeremi, who's able to shove him off. Not necessarily with ease, but enough to break out the pinfall attempt. Mackie back up again and drops him down with the body press. Now that's using your momentum and your torque there, because of course you would have thought, considering what we saw earlier, Jeremi would have caught Mackie and held him with ease. It was not to be. Mackie adding that velocity. He has phenomenal core strength, does a lot of pole fitness, so he's probably got the strongest core in everybody in W3L. As he lands that leg drop, so it makes him a difficult person to throw around. And again, Mackie knows exactly where to place his strikes and his shots, and he flies to the top rope with that dropkick, and he flies better than a lot of people do. When he sails through the air, he knows exactly where he's going to hit you. Always thinking is Mackie. We're going to see it again. Hang on, Jeremi this time though. Gets with the D-bone. Once bitten, twice shy, I think, or is it, well, once too often? You know the cliche we're going for here. And he just explodes that clothesline. Well, Mackie's brain's already scrambled at a D-bone suplex being launched across the ring. Then he gets the clothesline as well. But gets the feet up. Was slightly ahead of Big Dave Jeremi. Mackie climbing the ropes. And tightrope walking. Now he's become a bit of a clown, by his own admission and by the way he dresses. So it's like he's bringing a circus skill into the match. You've already seen the high wire act, I guess, with all his flying drop kicks. Then he walks the tightrope. Perhaps he can launch Jeremi at the ring like a human cannonball and get him counted out. And Mackie with that knee lift right in the corner. And down goes Jeremi. It just nets him a two. Again, Mackie always thinking, and yeah, he may have a new colour scheme, but he's still the same vicious Mackie of old, and it is to your misfortune if you underestimate him. And of course, with the fact that Blondie Barrett is still your heavyweight champion, as we saw just 2 weeks ago here on Showdown, it benefits everybody to get as many victories as they can to put themselves in the firing line for a potential heavyweight championship match. Mackie on Jeremi's back, who runs him in the corner, trying to break the hold. Mackie's holding on though. It's like having a barnacle attached to the bottom of a ship. Mackie with those legs, those strong legs wrapped around Jeremi, will not let go of this sleeper hold. And Jeremi's bound to be fading by now, unless he can break the grip and see sunk to a knee. So much like we saw last week with Johnny Lyons, if you can cut the oxygen off to some of these bigger guys, it slows them down immeasurably. Jeremi not quite done yet though. And a beautiful back suplex, and dropped Mackie from a height as well. Didn't drive him down, just picked him up there and let him go. Let Gravity be his tag partner there. So sadly Gravity isn't recognised as a legitimate tag team championship contender, but perhaps if we petition management hard enough, you never know. Both men, as we're at 5, slowly getting to their feet. Those are those solid hands from Jeremi. Little jabs that he uses, but he's got a solid punch as well. As prior matches here on Showdown, or indeed if you've seen him at live events, will attest. And Mackie gets launched to that belly-to-belly suplex. And a shoulder block. There's that football background. And again, this is where Mackie is in trouble, because he cannot match power as Jeremi with a big boot. And he really needs to start using his speed and quickness, but of course easier said than done. Jeremi on his second wind, with the crowd on his side. Kiwi setting up for the ACE, but Mackie slips on the shoulders. And he gets slammed down instead. Wasn't pretty, but it seemed to be quite effective. Jeremi just shrugged Mackie off his shoulders and drapes an arm, but Mackie way too close to the ropes. Jeremi knew that if he was caught in that sleeper again, it would slow him down, but perhaps to his detriment, perhaps to end the match. So he slammed Mackie down, almost like a power slam there. Mackie slowly back to his feet, ducks under that clothesline, and gets suplexed, I think. Or did Jeremi take the worst of it? I thought he tried to suplex out of it, but I think Mackie held on and drove Jeremi's head into the canvas as he went. It's like going for a guillotine, and Jeremi tried to turn it like a belly to belly, but Mackie held on. Jeremi's perhaps his head spinning, and Mackie's hooked him again. So it's like he's going for a swinging DDT here. Is Jeremi going to try and suplex him? Oh, and he took too long, and Mackie just fell backwards and snapped Jeremi's neck on the top rope. And if his head wasn't spinning before, it is now. Mackie just encircling him like a vulture around some carrion. Or are they the carrion? Regardless, you get where I'm going with that. Now he's applied a sleeper again. This has been the best thing he's done in the match, it seems, to slow Jeremi's momentum so he can't use his power moves. He can't stand, obviously, right at this moment, so he can't suplex him. So it's like he's changing it in a variant of the Dragon Sleeper. He's got legs around him as well. Jeremi unable to move. Referee checking his arm. It's fallen once. And it's fallen twice. Once more, and that's going to be it. And it is. That's it. The referee calling for the bell. Big Dave Jeremi has passed out, courtesy of the very good Mr. Euan G. Mackie, aka Sasshole the Clown. He wrapped him in that Dragon Sleeper style manoeuvre, or hold technically, and then wrapped his legs around him so Jeremi was unable to get back to his feet and fight out of it. Oh, and he's even got a shot for the referee as well. Nobody is safe from Mackie. Oh, and just disrespecting his beaten opponent Dave Jeremi. So Mackie is at a changing colour scheme, changing name, certainly a change in fortunes as he gets a victory here this week on Wrestling Showdown.
A victory for the very good Mr. Euan Mackie, or certainly whatever name he is going under these days. A victory nonetheless, and he moves one step closer, I am sure, to challenging for the soon-to-be crowned Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament. And the good news, ladies and gentlemen, is we'll be starting the semi-final round next week here on Showdown. That's right, 7 days time, back here, the first semi-final match. Do not miss it. Now, I mentioned something about live events. I know nothing beats seeing W3L live and in person, and you've been waiting to hear more about when our live events are going to happen. Well, you're going to have to bide your time just a little longer. Make sure you're engaging with us over the next 7 days, indeed all the time, on our social media platforms, because you'll be making an announcement about live events in the coming week on all the W3L social media channels. What are those channels, you ask? Well, you should know by now. But just in case you've got some temporary amnesia, or this is your first ever time watching Showdown, let me remind you that you can engage with us by going to our website, W3LWrestling.com. You can find information about W3L there, as well as having a look around the shop for exclusive DVDs and so much more besides. Make sure you give us a like on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well. You should definitely subscribe to this channel. Again, one button click's all it takes. And when you are discussing the show, as hopefully you will do, you can use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown. And so you will find out the announcement about live events on those platforms in the next week or thereabouts. Plus, if you subscribe to this channel, you'll be notified in 7 days when the next edition of Showdown goes up, and you will see the first semi-final match in the Wrestling Showdown Championship Tournament. Who will it be? You're going to find out in 7 days, so make sure you join me back here for more Wrestling Showdown.